Hi guys, Garrett Liu here, and today we'll be going over for loops in Java. What a for loop does is that it will run through some lines of code a certain number of times. Let's look at the syntax for a for loop. So first you start with a for, all lowercase. Then you have parentheses, and in the parentheses you specify where you start, like 0. So int I equals 0, then semicolon. Where you stop, so like 5, I less than 5, and then how fast you increment or decrement. So I plus plus, which is basically I add 1. You add 1 to I. Uh, then you do like a squiggly bracket, and then that's your for loop. And you put your code in here that you want to run basically 5 times. So how the for loop works is that it sees that I is 0, right? Then it checks if I is less than 5, and that's true. And if that's true, then it runs the code in the squiggly bracket, which we don't have any right now. So I'll show you. So system.out.print line hi. So this should print hi 5 times. And it does. So basically what it's doing is it checks if I is equals 0, or it I starts at 0 and then it checks if it's less than 5, and then it does what's in the curly brackets, and then it adds 1 to I, and it keeps doing that until I becomes greater than or equal to 5, right? Because when I is 4, it will continue to work because 4 is less than 5, and then it'll print out high, and then it'll add 1 to I, and then you'll get 5, and then 5 is not less than 5, so the for loop will end. So it runs through the for loop 5 times because it goes like this. So it starts at 0, then it adds 1 to I, so that's 1, and then it prints out I, right? And then it adds another 1 to I, so then I becomes 2, and then 3, and then 4. And so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5 times a high. You can also do a lot of cool things with loops. For instance, you don't have to use int for I. You can use like double or float. And that's just another way the computer stores. Um, and it's also common practice to use I as a variable, and it is indeed a variable, but you can call it whatever you want. So I could call it hello, right? So int hello. But you have to make sure they're all called hello. And because it's a variable, you can use it in the for loop. This variable is specific to the for loop. So um, I can't use it outside the for loop, but I can use it inside. And so this will print out what I equals. So it'll show you that I is indeed going up to 0, going from 0 to 4. And it prints out I each time it does. Right? Um, you can also make for loops decrement, so go down. So in this case right here, it's going up, but we can make for loops can go down. So let's say if in hello starts at 10, um, and we want it to go down to 0, just do hello equals 10, hello less than 0, and then hello minus minus, right? So it'll go down by 1. But you could subtract anything you want. Like I could subtract -2 if I wanted. Um, yeah, but I'm not. So Just gonna do down by one. What you want to make sure is that you don't get an infinite loop, which means that this comparison where hello is less or hello greater than 0, you don't want to you want to make sure that this like will become false like sometime. Like if it never becomes false, it'll like run infinitely and then your program will. You always want to make sure you have your alligators facing the right way. And then for a next level in for loops, you can do a nested for loop or for loops, which basically means you have a for loop in a for loop. And what that looks like is this. So you just have a regular for loop, and then I less than 5, and then I plus plus. And then instead of putting like system, like instead of printing something, you just put another for loop in it. But you have to be sure you call the variable, like you have a different variable, or else it'll confuse the computer. So let's say I'm gonna print out what I and j equal, and then you can see how the j goes up to 4, and then it resets back to 0, and then it goes back, and it goes up to 4, and then it goes back to 0, and it does that 5 times because the outer for loop is running 5 times. So basically, the inner for loop gets run 5 times, and the inner for loop runs 5 times. So basically, the inner for loop gets run a total of 25 times. That might be kind of confusing, so let me just print out what's happening, and then it should make some more sense. So let's see. So as you can see, it printed out 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it does that 5 times. And if I print out j, let's see, oops, I turned on the Chinese. If I do that, oh, oops, I deleted my bracket. Okay, let's do step. So it goes up to 4, and then it prints, so that's, these 4 is the j, and then it prints 0 for, because that's what j equals, and then it does 0 to 4 again, and then adds 1 to I, so I is 1, and then j gets reset, and that happens like 5 times. So thanks for listening. I hope you learned something, and I'll hope you guys have a great summer.